Hi, I'm Joel Christensen from Brandeis University, and I'm here with Reading Greek Tragedy Online for our 41st installment of this miraculous year of 2020 with Aristophanes Frogs. The Center for Atlantic Studies is sponsoring us, and Out of Chaos Theater has put this together with a cast of thousands of frogs and human beings waiting to make it happen. Aristophanes Frogs stands as one of the earliest pieces of literary criticism in the Athenian tradition. Even if it's bawdy and hyperbolic, it provides critical comments and cultural frameworks for the three tragedians we've gone through the most this semester. As a comedy, it ranges from sophisticated engagement with lyric motifs.
Joe,
what?
We don't want too many spoilers. We'll take it from here. Enter two men. Dionysus and Xanthias, his slave. Xanthias is riding a donkey and is carrying a bundle of pots, pans, a variety of small bundles tied to the edge of a long stick resting on his shoulder. He's tired and uncomfortable and shifts his own weight on the donkey. Dionysus is walking behind him, disguised as Heracles.
Master.
What?
Hi, boss.
Yeah.
Shall I tell this little joke? You know, one of my famous ones. One of those they always laugh at. Oh, you know the one I mean. Oh, God, shall I?
Yeah, sure, yeah. All right, yeah. Any joke except the one about how your bum is under pressure. It sickens my gallbladder, that one.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then what about some other slick joke?
Yeah, anything but the one about how miserable you feel.
Then I'll tell them. Yeah. That really funny one, yeah.
Yeah. Sure. Except don't tell them the one about, you know, the one.
Which one?
You know, the one where you say that every time I shift my bundle, I need to shift my shit bag. Don't say that one. Shit words are out, all right?
Oh, well, what about it? No. Oh, can't I even say the one about, you know,
What?
Oh, but yeah. Oh, what about the one? Oh, come on. What about the one where I'm carrying such a burden on my shoulders that if someone doesn't give me some relief, I'll start farting.
No, I beg you, please, no, not that one either. Low comedy tricks make me a year older when I'm sitting up there, you know, and watching it happen down there. 1 year older, I tell you.
Oh, my neck. Yeah, what a bastard, eh? So much pain and not a joke to be told.
Oh, my precious little slave, burdened with arrogance and sex. And here I am, Dionysus, son of the wine jug, on foot and in agony, while I have him riding so that he wouldn't get tired by carrying anything.
What? Carrying anything?
How could you be carrying anything if you're riding something?
Well, I'm carrying this, aren't I?
How are you carrying it?
With quite some pain, actually.
But is not that weight borne by the donkey?
Not this stuff. Not my load, it's not.
But how could you be loaded when you're loaded onto something else?
Oh,
huh?
I don't know. This shoulder is sure under pressure.
Oi, get down here, you little shit. We're here. Oh, all that walking. Here's the first door I need to knock. Hey, boy! Oi, boy!
Who's banging at my door, charging at it like a centaur? What? By Hades, what have we got here?
Boy,
Yes, boss?
you see that?
See what, boss?
You see how shit scared he was of me? Shit scared, for I am Dionysus.
Oh, yes, master. By Zeus, he sure was. Shit scared that you've lost your marbles.
By Demeter. Oh, I bite my lips, but I can't stop laughing.
Yeah, all right. Heracles, my good man, come here. Come, please, I beg you. Oh, I beg a word, please.
Go away now. Oh, what a sight! Lion skin and lady boots. Talk about fashion victim. In what part of Earth is this combination of fashion? Oh, where are you coming from, Dionysus, my little brother?
I was riding Athens' darling little boat. Do you know the one called Cleisthenes?
Cleisthenes, the little toy boy. And did you get to use your oar?
Sure did. A dozen or so. 13 maybe.
What? You two together? On Cleisthenes?
Yep. Ask Apollo, baby.
And then I got horny. Woke up.
Yeah. Anyway, there I was lying flat on my back reading a lovely play, you know, Andromeda, when suddenly I got this huge, painful yearning slammed deep into my heart.
A yearning, eh? For what? A woman?
No.
A boy?
No.
A man?
No.
The yearning? What was it for, little brother?
I haven't got the words for it. I'll give it to you sideways. Have you ever longed for a fasolada?
Bean stew? Oh, sure. My whole life is one huge longing for bean stew. Millions and zillions of times.
Yeah, but have I made it clear to you? I mean, have I made it quite clear to you just how big this longing is? Or do you want me to give it to you straight up?
Absolutely not. Bean stew is very clear to me. I understand it totally. Love it. Yearn for it all the time. Fasolada.
Yeah. Well, that's it. That's exactly the sort of longing and passion I suddenly got. And it was for Euripides.
He's caught it. Dead, deceased, no longer upon our world. He's down there, down below, passed down.
Yes, I know, but I must go. I must go after him, down below, and no one, not even you, can stop me, big brother.
But where? He's down with Hades, I tell you.
Well, to Hades, and below that even, if there is a below Hades, you know.
But what on earth for? What are you after, little brother?
Oh, I need a good poet, Heracles. Euripides, remember what he said? He's the one who said, some poets have died, and those who are still around are shocking. What a clever poet our Euripides was.
Well, if you must bring someone back from the dead, why not Sophocles, who's far better than Euripides?
Euripides is a sly and crafty, sharp old bugger, and he could most probably think up some way of getting us out of Hades' clutches. Whereas Sophocles, well, you know Sophocles. He was a wooze up here and he'd be a wooze down there. No spunk, no love for adventure.
And our little Agathon?
Oh, our beautiful, beautiful Agathon.
Where is he?
Oh, went off to slurp with the blessed.
And Xenocles?
Oh, Castel's son. Him and his Trojan trilogy. No, curse the turd.
But what about all the others? 1,000,000 and more young boys writing 1,000,000 and more tragedies, spitting out more words than Euripides could ever spit.
Heracles, I'm looking for a real craftsman, one whose words are lofty, poetic. You won't find them here anymore, I tell you. Those kids you're talking about are just loud mouths, producing scraps for the dogs, idle crappings of crapping birds who, as soon as someone gives them a cast of actors, they piss and shit on tragedy and then leave. Now, there's no virile poets to be found anywhere. Find me a poet who knows the noble bloody word.
Virile? What do you mean, virile?
Virile, fructiferous, juicy. One who can glue syllables together to produce the most delightful thought, like, oh, ether Zeus, bedchamber, or foot of time, or oh, heart that won't swear upon the sacrifices, oh, tongue that swears so falsely, so distant from the heart.
You like that sort of stuff?
Oh, it's beautiful. It drives me crazy.
It's pure crap, and you know it.
Oh, like Andromeda said, big brother, you keep your thoughts in your skull, and I'll keep mine in my skull, all right?
Well, they seem painfully undelightful to me, totally artless.
The only art you'll ever know is the art of the gut. And I'll let you teach me about that later if you want, but leave poetry to moi.
Still not a word. Not one single word about me. Oh, shut
Now
up.
listen. The reason I've come to you wearing this get-up of yours is so that I get to look like you, and then you can tell me all about those friends of yours who looked after you when you went after that three-headed monster Cerberus thing, you know, Hades bouncer, just in case I need those friends of yours when I get down there.
You're mad, you silly little bastard. You're mad. You wouldn't want to go down there too? You couldn't.
Oh, drop the arguing. Just tell me the quick way I could get down there to Hades. And I mean the quick way. Just skip all those roads that are too hot or cold.
All right, then. Let me... Which one should I suggest first? Oh, well, there's the one where you need the bench and a rope. You hang yourself and then whoop, you're there.
No. That's too hangy.
There's the shortcut, well worn, this one, the mortal and pestle.
Oh, do you mean hemlock?
Exactly.
No. That's too chilly. Freezy wheezy, chills your shins all the way up to your...
You want to know the fastest way down?
By Zeus, yes, I hate walking around forever.
Then you just walk a little bit, just up to Keramikos.
Yes?
Climb the high tower.
Yeah.
And wait for the torch race to begin.
Yes.
Well, as soon as you hear the crowd yell, and they're off, you get off too.
Get off to where?
What do you mean, where? Down, of course. You jump.
Oh, no. No. Two brain omelets splattered everywhere. Wasteful. Oh, no. I don't think I want to take that little walk.
So, what will you do then?
Well, I'll go the way that you went.
Wow. That is the longest way. It's a huge trip, that one. All right, then, look. First, you'll come up to a huge lake. An abyss it is. That means bottomless.
Oh, how do I get to the other side of the
On a
lake?
tiny boat by a very old sailor. He'll take 2 obol fare, same as the fare to the theater.
Well, you look at that. The power of 2 obols, eh? Everywhere you go, 2 obols, please. 2 obols, please. Oh, come on.
After you cross that lake, you'll see millions of snakes and beasts and things that are too horrible to contemplate.
Oh, now, big brother, don't you try and frighten me or put me off or anything. I'm not that easily scared.
All right, then. Then let's see what's next. And you'll see a huge swamp, mud and shit everywhere. But everywhere. That's where they drown all the nasty people. Those who swore a false oath or got someone to plagiarize Aeschylus's grandnephew, Morsimus. Whew, talk about bad poetry. Whew.
Ugh, awful, totally awful crap.
Then the next thing that'll happen is that you'll hear a lovely breath of pipes floating all around your ears, and then the most delightful sunlight will flood your eyeballs. Just like here on Earth, and there'll be myrtles and groups of happy men and women all clapping their hands together.
Yeah, and who are these people?
The initiates.
Oh, the initiates, the sacred mysteries.
Well, these initiates will tell you all you need to know about your journey. They live very close by to the road you'll be taking. They're next to Pluto's palace gates. Oh, well, all the best, little brother. Good luck.
Thanks, big brother, you too. All right, lovely. Oi, pick up that luggage, Xanthias.
Oh, what nearly put you down?
Quickly, please.
Ross, please, no. Please go and find someone else to hire. You know, someone that's already carked it. We'd be heading in your direction anyway. Please, I beg you.
Sure. And if I don't find anyone?
Then you can come back and take me if you want.
Oh, you're right. Look, speak of the corpse. Here's one now. Hey, you corpsey. Corpsey comes, corpsey. Darling, corpsey. Corpsey?
Yes?
Oh, hi. Do you want to carry some luggage down to Hedges for me?
What sort of luggage?
Well, this stuff here.
Got 2 drachmas.
2 drachs? Certainly not, but use the cheek.
On our way, lads.
Ooh, how very stern, how solemn, how very tight-assed our little corpsey is. Very grave indeed. Curses and peace upon your grave, you arrogant bundle of bones. Oh, all right then. Look, I'll come down with you.
Ah, but you're such a good boy, my little Xanthias. So useful, so nobly born. Let's go to the boat.
Dionysus and Xanthias start their journey to the underworld and soon encounter a gruesome character.
Whoa there. Pull her by the side, boy.
What's that?
That? Oh, that's a lake.
Pisces it is too. The very lake Heracles told us about. And I can see a little boat too.
Oh, great Poseidon. There's Charon himself as well. Whoa.
Hi, Charon. Hi.
Hi, Trinicums, you alright?
Hi, Charon. Hi, darling.
Charon, you alright? Hi, you alright?
Hurry. Who's for the coast of no cares and concerns? The plain of eternal sleep? The ropes of Ocnus, anyone? Cerberus's palace? The crows of Tyneron?
Me, please, me.
Oh, come on then. Hurry aboard. Come on.
Hold on. Where are you off to? Perdition?
Oh, perdition it is.
Really? All right.
Yeah, sure, just for you. Come on, get in. On the oar with you. Hurry. Who's sailing? Hurry. Oh, you. What are you up to? What are you doing?
What do you mean? What else could I be doing? I'm doing what you told me to be doing. I'm sitting on the oar. That's what I'm doing. Isn't that what you asked me to be doing?
Not the fatso. Here, could you just sit right here?
Done.
Now, can you stretch out these arms of yours? Like so.
Done.
mucking about. There. Push your feet against that bit there and pull at the oar. Hard now. Pull.
Pull, he says. How on earth can I do that? What experience do I have of such things, eh? None in the open seas, none in the tight sea battles. Do you think I'm one of those who fought in the salamis? Eh? What does one do with this, oar thing?
Stop whinging. It's easy. Come on. And the moment your oar hits the water, you'll hear some real nice songs. They'll guide you.
Songs? What? Whose songs are they? Who?
The songs of the frogs.
All right then. Give me the word.
Break, yes, go X, go X. Break, yes, go X, go X. Break, yes, go X, go X. Break, yes, go X, go X.
Look how he did it. See how he slacks. His technique is awful. His rhythm he lacks. Look how he did it. See how he slacks. His technique is awful. His rhythm he lacks. I'm Dionysus. Can we please just slow down? Look how he did it. See how he slacks. His technique is awful. His rhythm he lacks. Look how he did it. See how he slacks. His technique is awful. His rhythm he lacks.
Let's lift our voices to a hymn, loud and clear our own sweet song, in honor of Zeus' son, Dionysus. Let's lift our voices to a hymn, loud and clear our own sweet song, in honor of Zeus' son, Dionysus. Let's lift our voices to a hymn, loud and clear our own sweet song, in honor of Zeus' son, Dionysus. Let's lift our voices to a hymn, loud and clear our own sweet song, in honor of Zeus' son, Dionysus.
Oh, thank goodness for that.
Right, that's it now. Pull your oar this
Ooh.
way. Bring her around. That's it. Now give me the fan and get off.
Oh, here you are. 2 obols, 1, 2 obols there. Cool, blimey. Xanthias! Hey, Xanthias! Where's my darling Xanthias? Xanthias? Where are you? All right, what do we do now?
What do they do now? Just as Heracles foretold, Dionysus picks up the chorus of initiates en route to Pluto's palace. Our intrepid hero is resolute in his quest to bring a poet back to Athens. Aeschylus was awarded the chair of tragedy in the underworld, but is now challenged by the newly arrived Euripides. The stage is set for a contest of tragic proportions.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
What a dreadful anger would have filled the thunderous heart of the old bull Aeschylus, eh? When he sees that his opponent will be sharpening his cutting tongue on his old bull's horn, that's when you'll see the real lowering of fearsome eye.
Ooh, we'll see such a fight. Huge feathers upon huge helmets charging at one another, clashing words that give out sparks and flames, glittering chariots with their axles cutting hearty words out of each other. Clash, bang, glitter, spark.
That head of his, that hair, a mane that will stand upright, and eyebrows tightening around his bull eyes. There, Aeschylus will roar his thundering titanic words, uprooting the timbers of a whole forest. That's our Aeschylus.
Then will come out the delicately crafted words of Euripides. Oh, Euripides! He'll roll out his smooth tongue and the retester of words, casting aside all those shackles of hatred they threw on him, and bit by tiny bit will grind away at those phrases which are too hard a job for the lungs. That's our Euripides!
Dionysus, welcome to my humble palace.
Oh, it's great to be here, Pluto, for what promises to be a simply fantastic contest between two masters of their craft, both known for their,
I'll have no lectures from you, Dionysus. I'll not give away the chair of tragedy. I've not the slightest doubt that I am far better in this art than he is.
Aeschylus, darling, speak up. You've just heard what he said, right?
Yeah. He'll puff up his chest first, make us all believe he's got something important to say. That's the sort of crap he gives us in his tragedies, too. Bizarre stuff.
Oh, careful, Euripides, mate. Don't be so cocky.
Oh, I know this man. I know him very well, and for a long time now. Oh, I know him, all right. He's no poet. He's a creator of huge, wild beasts, and he has a mouth so arrogant, so ill-disciplined, so ill-controlled, with its gates wide open, its logic completely escaped, its temper completely given away to splatter puff and knotted bombastology.
Is that a fact? Is that right, you son of a veggie vendor? Is that what you think of me? You collector of idle chatter, creator of paupers, you gatherer of rags. You say such things about me. You'll be sorry you ever uttered those words.
Oh, enough, Aeschylus. Why do you need to cook your innards with such burning anger?
No, Dionysus, I shall not stop. I shall not stop until I've shown this poet of decrepit bodies, the insolent idiot that he is. You gather of disgusting, sacrilegious Cretan solos of wailing, of mourning monotones. You brought these grotesque marriages on our stage.
Oh, control yourself there, Aeschylus, my most honourable and lofty poet. Hold it a minute. God. Euripides, oh wise one, I think you better move back a bit if you know what's good for you. Back away a bit from this hailstorm he's brewing inside his feverish skull, and in his blind anger gongs you on the head with some vicious words about that play of yours, Telephus. And you, Aeschylus, ease off the anger. Debate calmly, my child, calmly. Remember, you're poets. Hold your dignity. You've already started roaring like pine burning in a forest fire.
I'm ready. I'm ready. And I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid to take bites, or if he's up to it, he can start biting first. Go on. He can have a go at my dialogues, at my lyrics, the very nerve center of my tragedies, including my Peleus, Aeolus, Meleager, and even my Telephus, if he wants.
So, Aeschylus, do tell us now, what do you want to do?
Well, for one thing, I'd rather not get into loud disputations out here, on the Zoom. This contest between us isn't fair out here.
Why? What's the problem, Aeschylus?
Because my poetry hasn't cocked it like his has. My poetry is still staged up there. There are laws enacted to permit them enter more live competitions. His, however, is right here with us. It came down with his carcass. He got it with him, and he can recite from it all he wants. Anyhow, if that's what you want, you're the judge, and I won't argue.
Right then. Fire, bring me fire, and incense, bring me incense. I shall need to pray before the wise cracks begin, that I will judge the contest with the utmost musical care. And while I'm at it, chorus, you lot call the muses, all right? Beg them to come. Come on.
O daughters of Zeus, 9 immaculate virgins true, you can look down from high up there and see the wise wits of poets down here. These, the creators of lofty ideas. Come down and watch them as they twist and turn and wrestle against each other.
Start again.
Come, muses, and oversee these 2 gigantic mouths, equal in might, equal in trite sentences and rhymes and sawdust for verses.
Let the wise wits take their places.
Let the contest begin.
Now, you two, Aeschylus and Euripides, you two say a prayer as well. Come on.
Oh, Demeter, you who has nurtured my wit, let me be worthy of your mysteries.
Excellent, lovely. Now you Euripides, you take the censer.
No, I'm all right, thanks. No need. The gods to whom I pray are different.
Oh, special are they? Your own gods? New ones?
Exactly.
Well, go ahead then. Do pray to these unofficial gods of yours.
Oh, ether, you who feeds my wit, who spins my tongue, who makes curves with my mind, who helps my nostrils to bring forth my voice. Let sprout from me words strong and true.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. So we too desire to hear from wise men some words that dance the dance of marching to war.
Oh, pride and the wild have taken hold of their tongue. Their wits whirled and wheeled. And so what else can one expect from this one but something sharp and well thought out? And from that one there, an attack with words torn straight out from the floor of the wrestling ring.
Come then, begin with your words and both say elegant, witty, original things without copies of the stuff one hears every day.
I shall talk about my qualities as a poet later. First, though, I shall expose my opponent. He's an imposter, a pretentious crook, a rip-off merchant. Let me tell you how he ripped off this poor audience. An audience which, I might add, he took over from his own colleague, another idiot, Phrynichus, who had them all well-trained and prepared for him, trained to be nothing but morons. And so Aeschylus would begin with some single character standing alone on stage, say an Achilles or a Niobe, wrap them up from top to toe so that we see nothing of their face. What a low device for such a tragedy, nor hear anything of their voice, not even as much as a little peep.
Oh, quite right. Not even a peep from them, is there?
And then his chorus will let loose 4 long chains of interminable songs, one after the other, on and on, without even the slightest break, while all the others stood there, interminably mute.
Ah, silence. How I enjoyed those moments. Better than all the idle chatter that fills our stage these days.
That's because you were an idiot. Interminably dumb.
Yes, most probably, yes. But why would he do that? All those songs, all the muteness.
Why? Because he's a rip-off merchant, I tell you. That's why. Pure crook. He just wanted his audience to sit there quietly and wait and wait and wait till his dear Niobe would utter a little syllable, a little any syllable. And in the meantime, of course, the tragedy would drag on and on.
Yeah, the sly rotter. He really had me hooked. Oi, Aeschylus, you, what's up? What's with all the fidgeting and the squirming?
Because I'm revealing his fraud. So, After he waffles on till the play is half over, he'd grunt out a dozen huge words, as huge as an ox, complete with crests and awesome eyebrows, horrible, dreadful things, frightening things which the audience had never seen before.
Oh my God!
Oh, quiet, you big
And did any of it make sense? Nope. You couldn't understand a word.
Will you stop sawing your teeth, Aeschylus?
You just pick up words like scamanders or ditches or huge shields and hooked-nosed eagles and enormous cliff-hanging words that you couldn't understand.
Yes, by Zeus, and I stayed up many times all through those long nights wondering what sort of bird this melodious half-horse, half-rooster.
You stupid ignoramus! It was an emblem carved on the ships. It's a figurehead.
So why on earth would anyone want to write about roosters in a tragedy?
Huh. What about you? You enemy of the gods? What sort of stuff did you write about, huh?
Not horsey roosters or goaty deer like you. All the stuff that one sees in Persian carpets. No, not me. As soon as I took tragedy over from you, full of puffed up, boaty, fatty words, I straight away went about slimming her. I took off all that excess weight by feeding it tiny, cute little verses and little white beetroots. Took her out for healthy strolls, gave her a soup made up of chatter, squeezed out of books, and then built up her strength with a huge dose of my dear friend's arias. Also, I didn't jump into the art with any old song I chanced upon and make a dreadful mess of her, but I had the very first character who came upon the stage explain to the audience the very origins of the story.
Better the origins of that story than those of your own story, eh?
And straight after that, I'd have no actors hanging about doing nothing. They'd all be out there talking. The wife, the slave, who'd have just as many words, the master, the virgin, and the old lady.
Such a crass exhibition, you should have been murdered.
Absolutely not, by Apollo. I behaved most democratically.
Yeah, you better change your little stroll, my dear friend. This path about democracy is not best for you right now, right?
And I taught that lot how to make use of all the subtle little rules of speech, how to twist words and thoughts, how to feel, how to see, how to fuck, how to love, how to concoct schemes, to be good crooks, to suspect everyone, to know everything.
That's for sure.
I placed on the stage things that are common, well known by all of us, the things we use every day, the things we see before us so that anyone can easily judge my talent. That's how I've managed to teach these people how to think. I placed a lot of thought and consideration in my art, and so now they feel everything. They're able to judge all things. They can run their household better and ask questions such as, how does this go? Or who got this? Or where is such and such?
Now then, Aeschylus, you who first of all the Greeks built great awesome towers of speech and gave words the tragic shape, turn your taps on full.
Oh, how very angry this is making me. It turns my stomach to think I've got to compete with him. Anyhow, just so that he won't think I'm stuck for words. Tell me, Euripides, why should anyone admire a poet?
Why, for the strength and skill of our minds. Because we give good advice to the people and thus make them better citizens, of course.
Yes, so if you didn't do all that and instead you've turned brave and useful citizens into dreadful bastards, what then do you deserve to suffer?
Oh, why ask him? The reward should be death, no doubt about it.
Well then, let us examine what these were really like before he took them over after me. Why, they were real men, brave and grand, huge, tree-like. Not like those idlers whose mind is always scheming ways of escaping their civic duty. Sly, stinking, dreadful little rodents of the marketplace. No, my men exuded an air of heroism. You could smell the intoxicating air of the battlefield. Lances, spears, great white high-crested helmets, greaves up to here. Weighty headgear and hearts like the solid 7 ox-skin shields.
I can't cope with this.
Yeah, he's going to screw us with those high-crested helmets.
Oh, yeah? And how exactly did you contribute to this bravery you're talking about? How did you teach them to do and be all that?
Yo, come on, he's going to tell us. Don't be such an arrogant little haughty snub-nose.
I have created a tragedy full of the god Ares, the glory of war.
And, sorry, which play was that?
7 Against Thebes, for example. All these citizens here have seen this play, and they all wanted to be like the god. Furious, brave, war-loving.
Yeah, now that was a really bad move. The Thebans came out the braver and won the war. You want to get your skull smashed for that, really.
See? You should have all followed their way then too. You too would be as brave, but it didn't happen. Same with my Persians, an excellent piece of work. In that one, I taught everyone how to always seek out victory. What a fantastic embellishment to tragedy.
Oh, yes, I sure loved it when I watched the Persians hearing of Darius' death. The chorus jumped out of its skin and shouted. Yeah, just like that. Wow. Thank you.
That's the sort of play tragedians should write. Just think how much the brave and lofty poets have helped the people going way back ever since the olden days.
What a fearsome exhibition this is. What a dire battle. Here we have, folks, a war that's bulging by the minute. It's a tough game trying to work out who's winning when one charges like a bull and the other spins away and takes his turn with the attack.
Right, you two. No need for any control. Get on with it. Bring it all on. There are plenty of jabs and witticism yet. Whatever your area of expertise, argue upon it. Attack with it. Spread out for us the old and the new. And it's about time someone said something subtle, something wise.
And don't worry about these folks here. They're not ignorant, and they'll certainly appreciate all the subtleties you use when you're putting your case to them. No, those days are gone. Now these are real veterans of the art. They've seen plenty of tragedy and comedy.
Hi, can I make a suggestion?
Sorry, but who the Hades is this? Who are you?
I'm Joel Christensen from Brandeis University. Welcome to Reading Greek Tragedy Online. You know, if you want to hold a comparison between the tragedians, I think the best method is to read all their plays.
I'm sorry, but what the truck is going on?
This is a terrible idea.
We'll start with some big hitters. Here's Eunice Roberts as Clytemnestra and Aeschylus as Agamemnon.
Yeah, but I was supposed to...
I offer no apology for saying things that contradict what I have said before to suit the moment. How else, if you are planning harm against your enemies who think they're friends? How else are you to rig the trap of nets too high to be escaped by leaping over them? My mind has long been working out this final contest in my long-drawn feud. And now, at last, it has arrived. I stand here where I struck with what is done in front of me. I managed it, and I am proud of this, in such a way that he could not escape his fate, nor fend it off. I cast around him an impenetrable mesh, like one for netting fish, a fatal luxury of fabric. Then I struck him twice, and with 2 cries his limbs went limp. Once he was down, I followed with a 3rd, an offering made in gratitude to Hades, the safe keeper of the dead below. And so he gasped his life away and spouted out a jet of blood that showered me with a drizzle of dark dew. And I was glad as is the crop of corn, to feel the gleaming moisture gift of Zeus when grain is brought to birth from out the husk. It is a proper offering to pour upon this corpse, this blood. It's just, and even more than just, because this man has filled a cup of such accursed crimes within this house, and now he has returned and drained it to the dregs. So that is how things are, you Argive elders. Be glad if you are gladdened. As for me, I revel in all this.
Thanks, Eunice.
You have to admit that's very good.
Better than I remembered it. Well done, Oliver.
And now some Euripides. Here's Evie Miller as Medea.
Boys, this is your city, where you will live forever deprived of your mother, leaving me in misery. I go to another land, a refugee, before enjoying you and seeing you happy, most miserable from pleasing myself. I raised you in vain, after all. In vain I laboured and was torn with pains, bearing cruel grief in childbirth. This unhappy woman once had many hopes in you, that you would take care of me in old age, and all would envy me when I die, since your own hands would shroud me. Now these sweet thoughts perish. Oh, boys, why that look in your eyes? Why do you smile your last smile at me? Oh, what should I do? Women, my heart is utterly lost looking into the bright eyes of my children. I cannot do it. My plans. I will take my boys from this land. And yet, why should I suffer? Do I want to be mocked for not punishing my enemies? I must dare to do this. Such cowardice to even admit soft words into my mind, children into the house. Whoever thinks it is not right to attend my sacrifice, stay at your own risk.
Take that. I win.
Euripides, we've only just started. Y'all wrote a lot of tragedy, believe me. Hey, is that a messenger I see arriving? It can only be Sarah Valentine.
I have confirmed the details and can speak of what our enemies out there are doing. How every champion, according to his lot, has been assigned his place. For some time now, Titius has been stationed at the Proteus gate, making a huge noise, for Amphiaraus, the prophet, will not let him cross the ford of the Ismenus River. The omens from the sacrifice are inauspicious, but Titius, in rage and thirsting for a fight, keeps making hissing noises like a snake at noon, and accusing him, saying that Ocleus' son, the prophet, a clever man, desires to shirk his fate and has no spirit for the coming fight. He shouts these taunts and shakes his helmet plumes, 3 overarching crests, while from his shields, bells made of bronze and hanging underneath create a fearful sound. And on that shield, he bears an arrogant sign, a fiery sky patterned with lesser stars and a full moon. The most revered of stars, the eye of night, shining from the bright center of the shield. Roaming there with his conceited armor, in his eagerness to fight, he bellows at the river banks just like a war horse, fiercely chomping at the bit and snorting as it awaits the trumpet's call.
I told you my 7 against Thebes was good.
I would have preferred it if you'd kept it to just 1 against Thebes.
Yeah, no, lad, calm down.
Now, it's important that we examine the different way these dramatists employ tragic conventions. Let's consider the Deus Ex Machina.
What do you think I am, Joel, really?
Here's Nori Victoria as Artemis.
Ooh, you have done dreadful things. But even so, you still may be excused since Aphrodite willed these things should be. And among the gods, there is this custom. No one seeks to block the will of the other gods. Instead, we always stand aside. Know this. I would never have put up with the disgrace of allowing the death of one I love more than all mortal men if I were not afraid of Zeus. You did not know the facts, and that removes the guilt from your mistake. These disasters fall most of all on you, but I too grieve, for gods do not rejoice when good men die. But evil men we utterly destroy together with their homes and their children.
Hippolytus.
Yeah, this has been great. Thanks, Joel.
Let's go back further first. Here's Martin K. Lewis as Xerxes in Aeschylus's The Persians. Martin, are you out there?
Xerxes, darling. Oh, all right. Well, thanks, Joel, again.
Well, look,
should we move on?
Do you want me to read my own work? I'm very happy to. I mean, nobody does it better than me.
Oh, my situation.
There he is. Come along, Xerxes, you gorgeous man. You go on, give it some weather.
Oh, my situation is desperate now. My luck has led me to a cruel fate which I did not foresee. How savagely a demon trampled on the Persian race. What must I still endure in this distress? As I look on these ancient citizens, the strength in my limbs fails. Oh, how I wish a fatal doom from Zeus had buried me with all those men who perished. You see me here, alas, a sad and useless wretch who has become an evil presence for my race and for my native land. Let your sad lament resound, a harsh and plaintive cry, for the god has turned against me.
Well, this god will never turn against you for that sort of performance, Martin, you gorgeous beast, you. Thanks again, Joel. Probably best if I take things from here.
Next in our tragic mega mix, we've got Tamieka Chavis's amazing chorus from Hecuba.
You haven't yet paid the price, but you will, like a man stumbling into foul bilge water, or swept from shore and drowning in the undertow. As the waves cover your head, you'll see how your life is just a loan that's come due. Death is the payment the gods demand. Where justice and gods converge, there's maelstrom. Your greed for gold leads you down the road to hell. Hands that never held a sword will cut your life away. See that? It looks like something's heavy thrown against the wall tent. What is that clatter and commotion? Should we rush in? What should we do? Should we break down the door? Oh, crisis calls! Hurry now! Hecuba needs us! Did you really do the things you say, Hecuba? Have you taken down the Thracian? Tormented man, in the grip of unbearable suffering brought on by your unbearable deeds. A heavy-handed God weighs you down with punishments.
Now that is a chorus.
Your time's up, Joel, you sexy thing, you.
Hey now, I know I'm only a humorist, And I know he's not in the contest, but we really do need to consider the impact of Sophocles. Let's look at the opening scene from the Electra.
My boy, your father commanded the army at Troy. You are Agamemnon's son, and now you are here at last to see for yourself, as you always wanted to do, this place, this legend-haunted, longed-for land of Argos. Where we stand now, you may say you are looking at gold-rich Mycenae. And this blood-drenched house belongs to the family of Pelops. I carried you away from your father's murder, away from this place, when your own blood sister gave you to me so that I could save your life, bring you up to young manhood and train you to be the avenger of your father's death. Now, therefore, Orestes, and you too, Pylades, dearest friend, we must decide quickly what to do. The sun's rays, as you see, are already raising the voices of birds, and stars are fading from the dark and kindly skies. So before the first man ventures from this house, we better say enough to settle a plan. We mustn't shrink or hesitate a moment longer. Now is the time to act.
You're very near my heart. More than any other serving man, you've probably proved your nobility to me many times. Now I'll reveal my secret plans to you. You must keep a sharp ear to what I say. And if I miss my target, you must set me right. You know I went to the Pythian oracle at Delphi to find out what strategy would make my father's murderers pay the price for what they did. Apollo answered my questions along these lines. By myself, without mustering an armed force to trick them, sneak in, and with my own hand do the slaughter they deserve. So on this basis, you are to go, and when the right moment strikes you, enter this house and find out everything they are doing, so that you can give me a report from first-hand knowledge. Your old age and the passing of many years will keep you from being recognized. They won't suspect a thing. And now, land of my fathers, gods of this place, receive me on this successful journey of mine. And you, home of my father, I have come with justice on a mission from the gods to scrub out the stain. Do not reject me from this land in disgrace. Give me my mastery of my wealth and power to bring order to my house. That is what I have to say. Now, old man, go and look after your assigned job. We too will leave. The time is ripe, and when men act, they are governed, above all, by good timing.
Thanks, Tim, Rob, and Paul.
Sophocles, where have you been all my life?
Only 7 plays. 7 plays down. Only so many.
Joel, dude, stop. Take
Seriously.
a break. We've seen enough.
No, really, I'm just getting started.
Take a break, Joel. 40 episodes. Come on, man.
All right, you're right. You're right. Take care, everyone. See you on the other side.
Point break. Bye, darling. See you, point break. See you.
Okay, where were we?
Well, I'm not going to judge these two. Both are friends of mine, and I don't want to end up making an enemy out of either one of them, you know. One is an absolute whiz in tragedy, and the other, well, I love.
But then what would be the point of you coming all the way down here?
I know, but what if I judge the wrong one?
Choose one of them, and you can take him back with you to the upper world. That way your trip won't be totally wasted.
My blessings to you, Pluto. I love the eyeshadow, by the way. Now, listen to me, my men. I've made this trip down here to take with me up there a poet.
What for?
So that he'd save our city, Athens, and organize again her festivals, her plays, choruses. So now, whichever of you gives the best advice to her, to our city, he'll come up with me, all right? Right? So, what do you say about Alcibiades? He's been an absolute pain back up there. A brilliant man, enthusiastic, great general, helped us enormously. But then he goes and defects to the other side, to the Spartans. Tell me, both of you, what thoughts do you have about him?
I hate a citizen who is slow to help his city, quick to cause her harm, who's got his eyes wide open to anything that helps himself, but completely shut when it comes to helping the city.
By Poseidon, that was well put. Now you, Aeschylus, what do you say, darling?
It's a better
Aeschylus?
idea not to rear a lion in a city, but if you do, you better obey his every whim.
By Zeus the Saviour, it's so hard for me to decide. One of you spoke wisely and the other clearly. So let me ask you then to give me yet another advice for saving our city. All right.
Oh, I know. I got an idea and I want to tell it right now.
Oh, go ahead then, go ahead.
Reverse our leaders. What we should do is we should have faith in the untrustworthy and distrust the faithful.
All of which means what?
We should swap sides. Get rid of those we've been trusting so far and bring in those we've been rejecting.
And this will save our beloved Athens.
Well, if it's all disastrous with the present bunch, how can we not find a solution with the others?
All right. Aeschylus, what do you say?
Tell me whom the city is using now. Anyone of some use?
Of use? Now, where would poor Athens find anyone of use? She hates them all.
So she loves the sleazy, sneaky, corrupt con artists.
No, she doesn't really love them, but she makes use of them because she has to.
Not the one and not the other. So how could anyone save a city which wears neither a cloak of fine wool nor a goat skin?
By Zeus! If you want to see the upper world, find an answer to that question, all right?
No, I don't want to tell you the answer down here. I'll tell you when we get up there.
No, absolutely not. Send your wisdom from down here, buddy.
They'll save themselves when they consider the land of the enemy as their land, and their land as that of the enemy, when they consider their ships as their wealth and their wealth as their poverty.
Decide.
I decided that I'll choose according to my soul, all right?
You sworn to the gods that you'd take me back home with you. Remember that and choose your friends.
Well, yes, my tongue swore to the gods, but I choose Aeschylus, sorry.
Most odious man! What have you done?
Who, me? All I've done was to choose a winner, and that winner is Aeschylus. Why not?
You dare look me in the eye after a disgusting act like that?
Well, how can it be disgusting if the audience judge as I do?
You rotten bastard. You'll stand by and watch me stay down here.
Ah, to live. Who knows what that is? Perhaps it's death. Who knows if breathing is not supper and sleep but just a wooden rug?
Well then, Aeschylus, farewell. Go, and give the Athenians the benefit of your good advice. Educate the idiots. There sure are enough of them.
I'll do that. And you, Pluto, hand the chair of tragedy to Sophocles, because I think he's second to me in this art. And never let that Euripides, that liar and monkey, that crook, never get anywhere near that chair, not even by accident.
Come now, chorus. Show your torches in honor of this man and guide him to the upper world, singing as you go along his praises with his own words, his own music.
O gods of the underworld, grant firstly that this poet has a good journey to the sunlit world above, and then grant that the city will receive this poet's fine ideas, which will result in great blessings.
Only this way we'll see the end of all suffering and terrible wars.
So that brings us to the end of Aristophanes Frogs. I'm not sure I was convinced by the arguments. I might have let Aeschylus mellow a little longer down there. But we're also at the end of a first full season of Reading Greek Tragedy Online. We did all the tragedies. We did 3 comedies, the Iliad, the Odyssey, fragments, and there's perhaps more yet to do. But the thing we did above and beyond everything else is we spent some time together as actors, as readers, as academics, and we created a community when many of us didn't have it at home. So I want to end this year by going around to everybody who was part of this today and just asking them for a few words about their experience. So I'm going to start with the cast list, maybe move it around a bit. And I'll start with Rhys, Rusbatch. Rhys, what was the experience like for you this year? What did you learn from it? Are you still there? Sorry, there are so many people on the screen. Oh, Rhys, I see you. So, what was it like? Tell me something about this year.
About this year?
About this, about Reading Greek Tragedy Online.
Oh yeah. Oh, yeah. It's been wonderful. It's been absolutely wonderful. I mean, for me anyway, it's opened up a whole new sort of range of things that I didn't really know about, or yeah, I've just loved it. It's been such a pleasure working with everybody and everybody's takes on different things, and it felt like every time we come together to do something, it's been a very positive, proactive attitude as well. So well done, everyone.
Yeah, that's something that's really hard to see in the background, is that we actually just do this and we all have fun. And we've learned neat things like how much of a crush Paul has on your voice, Rhys, which it is amazing, I have to say. I would listen to you narrate almost anything. Next to you, though, we're going to stay in your window for a bit. Minnie, or Mariah Gale, your Aeschylus was wonderful today, but you played some pretty good roles for us. What will you remember from the performances and experiences from this year?
I think that the thing that really strikes me is how relevant these plays are to today. And just listening to this, I think, you know, I know that a lot of it, we kind of played it for laughs, but actually, you know, the idea of going back to get a dead poet to rescue society isn't a bad one. You know, I think that we really need the arts, and, you know, not to get too tub-thumpy, you know, now more than ever. And I see this play as a real rallying cry to sort of like, you know, breathe life into the arts. We need it. So I'm so struck by how immediate these are, and how I really feel that Paul and Joel, you need to do these plays when we come out of lockdown, because they're so incredible and you don't see them very much. And as a performer, I've absolutely loved it. Sometimes I've been flying by the seat of my pants, but I quite like that. And I think that the general, you know, getting to act with some of these people is amazing. Everybody's so brilliant. And to act with somebody who's halfway across the world is one of the beauties of our situation, which is just incredible. So thanks, everyone.
I think you should thump all the tubs you can on that one. And there's something about, I mean, one of the things that got cut out of the monologue at the beginning is how sort of liminal this play is, right? It's really near the end of things in Athens, really at a transitional moment. So there's so much fun in it, but there's also that sense you bring out, Minnie, that, you know, things are changing and we need something, right? We're missing something. Ursula, you've been here for some of our comedies. And you get to do like this big, huge things in a tiny little screen. What's it been like, and how has it sort of chimed or not chimed with your experience this year outside of the performance?
Well, yeah, like you said, it's been quite, I've not done any of the tragedies during these Greek tragedy readings, so it's been a kind of, I've played a sort of mad, sex-obsessed woman in assembly women, and then a mad slave that's obsessed with farts. So
it's a tiny little screen.
Probably the only second most random thing in the play to the frog disco was me, my bit being obsessed with farts. So yeah, I mean, for me, it's just been a kind of joy and a sort of real, just, I mean, both times it just felt like a crazy party. Obviously, I sort of slipped out when things got real and things got kind of important, but it's just been terribly joyous, and just doing this hugely wonderful sort of properly international thing that I don't think I've ever done before has just been, yeah, it's just been like a party.
It would be nice to have that power to slip out before things got bad in real life.
Yes,
right?
yes. Unfortunately, none of us have quite managed it with the real life. But, you know.
So Tony Jayawardena, you got to be, a little unhinged a few times for us. What's it been like?
Well, I did a lot more kind of during, shall we say, the first lockdown for us, kind of from March. And on a serious note, what is lovely is the kind of working with people you've never met before, which is absolutely brilliant. What I absolutely love is how mixed we are as a group, men, women of all different ages, colors, sizes, etc., which is brilliant. And on another note, Paul Mahoney is quite definitely the best casting director I've ever had, because I've had some of the best parts I've ever had in my life. Genuinely, it's been a massive hug to me, who's missed hugging people, and being able to just come out here and just honestly, without any thought, just let my creative juices just run away with myself and have an absolute ball with people who shouldn't really let me do this kind of thing. And it's been great. I've loved it. And it's been an absolute lifesaver in terms of lockdown. It's been an absolute lifesaver for me. So thanks very, very much.
Well, thank you. And thanks for bringing out, how much effort Paul has really brought into cross casting against age and typical expectations. And it's been a powerful thing. And I think in the future, when students look at these performances, it's going to rewrite some of our expectations, right? I know we had some difficult moments at time because there are lots of hard topics in these plays. But I've cherished the willingness the actors have shown to try out the different roles, to have difficult conversations. Renee Thornton, you've been here mostly for fun, and you've been big, and like your energy has just been amazing. How has that been? How has that echoed or contrasted with what life has been like off the small screen?
Yeah, like everyone has said so far, it's been a lot of fun, and opportunities for performances are pretty few and far between these days. So it's been great to have that chance, even briefly, to get to meet and work a little bit with people who I otherwise would not have crossed circles with has been fantastic. And I too love the Greeks. And so getting exposed to a couple of Greek plays like The Clouds that I had never read or seen before. So it's been great personally and professionally. It's been a great opportunity, and I'm super thankful to Paul for the chance.
I think it's great that you mentioned reading things you didn't know before, because I learned a lot with this. And I was thinking about this the other day. We've done 41 plus hour and a half episodes, which is more than a full 4-credit bearing course, right, at most universities. So Paul and I guess we've been teaching each other this all year long. And I'll stick with Paul for a minute because his better half, Hannah's there, and she's been in some of our performances, which has been awesome, but she's also been making them possible by picking up the slack at home. Hannah, how much have you hated me this year?
A little bit. Yeah, no, it's been pretty intense, the workload for Paul, and I will be pleased to have him back. Yeah, that's great. But it's just also been so extraordinary to see every week people coming together and supporting each other and giving these plays a go and creating this extraordinary body of work. That's been fantastic to see, and it's been moving as well, because people, Paul's been saying, "Oh, would you come and do this?" and everybody's gone, "Yeah, we'll do it. Yeah, we'll do it again. We'll do it again." So that's been wonderful. And I've really enjoyed my little bits here and there. The corpse is a highlight.
I have to say the corpse is quite memorable.
Yeah.
And especially that the corpse asked for 2 drachma, right? Which is so much more than Charon the boatman gets. But I like that you mentioned how willing people were to just jump in and do whatever. I'll use that as an opportunity to bring Rob in. Rob, I know you haven't been here a lot with us, but was today's music thanks to you?
Yeah, I penned the song, and Paul and I, some thumbs up there from the crowd. Yeah. Thanks guys. Paul and I have done a lot of that kind of work together. We wrote a musical set in ancient Greece, and we've kind of used songs to illuminate the Greek world many times over the years. And I don't know, I didn't come out quite that way. I've been listening to Dua Lipa's new album recently, and I just thought maybe I should get a little disco funky on it. And I mean, the brief was fairly broad, and I just took it and ran with it and thought, let's just make it funky. And I had a lot of fun. But as we so with the Cyclops last week, and with what I've spoken to with Paul about this whole year, it's about making these stories accessible and making the world accessible. And I do feel like even tonight, it's not like it was thousands of years ago. It's all just how we are now. So it was cool to kind of bring modern music to it. So thanks for indulging me.
Well, no, and I saw Chaz, you're here again. Why don't you unmute and come in, because you Rob were here last week, and you came in near the end, willing to give so much of your play, the rock opera, to us. What's it like coming in at the tail end of this process and seeing what we've done?
Well, I watched a few of the episodes leading up to Cyclops, so I kind of got a sense of the community you guys were building, and it's really moving and cool to see so many of these plays I've only ever read. So it's fun to be able to watch them and see what variety there is in the genre and what exists. So it's really cool.
Thank you. And we've got Landon Marcus and Benjamin Sherman back again, part of our chorus of frogs. Benjamin, what do you like more, being a Cyclops or being a frog?
Jay was the Cyclops. I was one of the satyrs, but I enjoyed being a frog. It was a little bit off the cuff there. I had to scramble and find myself a frog here, but I guess what I can offer is it was really cool, and it's been said before, it's been really moving to see. I know we can't all be in the same room acting, obviously, but it's a cool way to read these things and be exposed to them and actually record these performances. It's really different and really strange, but it's interesting. I actually think it was made in our case, it made for a really interesting kind of an edit, and watching you guys all acting was great. I loved it. So.
And I like that you bring up the record we're making. This, for better or worse, we're going to have a very strange record of 2020 starting in the second week of our lockdown here in the US. Landon, so the advantage a frog has over Polyphemus is a frog can swim to his beloved, right? What was this experience like for you?
It'd be a dangerous advantage for a Cyclops to have. This experience of the frog.
Yeah. There you go.
It's, if anything, it's given me a lot of ideas of like how to work with media in the future. So, I think that's very cool.
Thank you. Bettina, so you came in, we started talking to you early on. You were a big fan in the first few weeks. What has being sort of a performer, a musician, and an involved audience member been like for you for this year?
It has been one interesting emotional roller coaster that y'all put me through in good, delightful ways. I mean, wow, just the tremendous talent of these actors. I mean, I begged Paul, in case y'all didn't know, can I be tree number 3, please? And he did. He made me tree number 3. And thank you, Paul. I really appreciate it. I just wanted to be here with y'all. And the interdisciplinary aspect of this has been astounding. And my students have been watching it, not even for extra credit, but simply because it's been engaging and useful to them to see this all happening. And so that it's finally accessible to them and to me, because truthfully, I haven't seen all these 40 plays or however many that we've done. Haven't read these books cover to cover. And it's wonderful to see the analysis that you, Joel, and lecturers have brought in to help me and my students and everyone understand what the heck is going on. In many ways, it's so much better than a live theater, production, just because at I know what's going on. I'm not going, what? Wait, who's that? Wait, I don't understand. Those moments didn't happen. I mean, as I'm thinking it, Joel comes in or the lecturers come in and they explain things. Yeah. And it's been great.
Right. And better in a way, but different, right? I mean, we're bringing together sort of we're breaking down various walls, which has been one of the most amazing things. And like you, Bettina, I hadn't read all the plays before, right? Because I'm just a Homerist. And there are so many plays, right? We don't want to upset, Amy Pistone, but some of the plays just don't need to be read. Marietta, you've been here a few times. What has the experience been like for you in the sort of heavier roles you've played? And you're muted, sorry. I don't have the power to unmute you.
Sorry about that. Yeah, the whole thing has been wonderful. I just want to thank Paul. It's just been so great. I don't know when the last time I worked on the Greeks was, but it was a long time ago. So much of my career, certainly in the past 10, 15 years has been working on new plays, many of which are still being written as we're like nearing the opening of the show. So it was wonderful to go back and work with the classics, and certainly just to work with all of these different actors from around the world. And the last thing I'll say is I just think the translations were magnificent. I worked on 3 different plays, and all 3 of them, I thought the translations were, they really got the humor, even the two that were tragedies, and I think that's so important to be able to work with really great translations that are accessible. So.
Right, and I think we didn't mention George Theodoridis, who did today's translation. But one of the things I've found with his translations, especially, is he gets colloquialisms, but also some of the bizarre neologisms that you really get with in comedy. Right, so some of the lines about the bombastic nature of Aeschylus today really got to the core of what makes Aeschylus, well, Aeschylus, right? So T-Lynn, you've had some fun roles, right? You're here with us again as a frog. Give me some of your impressions of the year.
Just in general, I mean, I think this has been a time of perseverance and resourcefulness and resilience. And I think, one of the good things, one of the bright spots about this year has been not only finding those things within myself, but ending up in rooms like this, right? Where like, it's a bunch of really wonderful creators and artists, and the art doesn't stop. And I shot Paul an email yesterday, and I was just like, I feel so grateful to get to be in this chat room with you guys. And like, I've been so inspired by you guys make it look so effortless. Like, it's amazing. And I'm just so grateful and inspired, and yeah, thanks y'all for letting me be a part of this. It's been truly epic.
Thank you. I think that one of the amazing things about building something from the ground up and trusting people and making up the rules as you move along is you can just add people in. So a couple times people have contacted us by email, and they have some experience in theater or a lot, and we've said, why don't you just join in? So Sarah Valentine, are you there? Yeah, Sarah, I see you. Sarah, unmute. You're one of the people who just reached out, and I'm like, let's join in. And like today, your little Gumby Titius is one of the funniest things I've seen in a long time.
Idle hands are the devil's plaything, right? That's what happens when Paul puts me at the end of the play. I have time to make crafts. Yeah, it's really sort of amazing. I think, we talk about 6 degrees of separation, but I feel like it's more like 2, because I reached out to you, Joel, I just saw an article you wrote, and I thought, here's a guy who knows about plagues. What's his take on pandemics? And then it was an invitation to join you all. So I just think I'm constantly I'm marveling always at the degree of separation between us all that actually is so tiny.
And often we found, like, Sarah, you live in Maine, I'm from Maine, we know Dmitry Troianovsky together. Another person who contacted me, I don't know if she'll unmute, put her video on, is Emma Pauley early on contacted me through Twitter, and we started talking. I said, well, why don't you jump in and do something? And she became our dramaturg. I don't know if she wants to join us and speak. I'll pause there for a minute. Emma, you there?
Hello.
Yeah, let's hear from you. Come on.
No, and I am thankful to this day that you did not turn from your door the random stranger that DM'd you on Twitter out of nowhere. No, and I thank you so much to Joel and to Paul and to Lanah and to everyone that has been involved in this process for allowing me to hop on board. This has been the highlight of my 2020 and a career realigning experience for me. I kind of came into this as a theater person who also did classics, and now I'm coming out the other side as a classics person who also does theater. So there's been a lot of joy and a lot of learning, and it's been just a wonderful way to fully speed run the canon. Like a video game. No, and it's just been wonderful. And I've harped on this before and I'll harp on it again, but for me, the greatest way of expressing your love for something is questioning it and interrogating it and delving as deep as you can into it. And for me, this project has been the greatest way of expressing love and affection for this group of texts, for this culture, for this time. And it's been so lovely to be a part of that. And I'm so excited to carry on in the new year in whatever form that takes. And it all came from a DM on Twitter. So thank you, Joel, for not turning the random stranger away from your door.
I learned a long time ago that you never knew what doors would open if you just talked to people, right? And this, if Paul had said to me, which he pretty much did in March, we're going to, binge perform all the Greek tragedies. I would have said, well, I don't know. Okay. Because Paul and I met in a similar way. Years ago, he sent me an email. He was on my campus. Let's have a coffee. I was like, all right, let's have some coffee. And somehow we're here with frogs on the other side of my head. Lily Ling, I skipped you before when I was going through the choruses. You've had some pretty powerful performances here. You haven't had as many as some others, but they've been memorable. What's it been like to come into this and see the group that works together every week?
Oh, I've loved it. I feel so lucky to have, seen all your faces and worked with some of you. And I really thank Tabitha, who just texted me and said, send everyone my love. And then also, Paul, you've made everyone feel so important in this process, which I've really appreciated. And I think one of the best things about this is to have figured out how to make theater magic over Zoom and to utilize Zoom as a way to tell the stories. That's been really amazing. So, and also to work with Out of Chaos. I'm originally from London. I'm a half Brit. So to be able to work with people from London, from England has been really, really lovely and such a dream. So thank you, everyone.
Thank you. So Toph, you're the only one who's been on both sides of the academic expert, the performer. And I know, these are both your comfort zones. What's it been like to bring them together and to, I think, be the farthest Western North American in the group?
Well, thanks. Again, I'm just grateful to have this experience, but it's really, no matter what role I've been in, it's been wonderful seeing the interpretations that are given to these characters of plays that I read. That an actor taking a script and making it their own just adds such depth to the experience. And I've got voices in my head, but the voices in my head for each of these characters. But to see something new and see something original just adds such depth to that experience. I really think that there are some brilliant performances that have been created out of this experience. And so for me, just being whatever side it's been, just seeing those performances come to life has been wonderful.
Thank you. And we've been lucky to have you. But you mentioned these, sort of changing dynamic performances, and the two people who come to mind right off the bat are Evie and Tim. Evie and Tim, I don't know if you've logged the most hours with us of anybody, but you got to be up there. And week after week, you've changed the way I've seen these characters, just in fundamental ways. What's it been like as the, to do this and together, right? You two are, a lucky pair who are, I don't know if you consider yourself lucky to be stranded together every week. But what's the performance context been like for the two of you, sort of feeding off each other and watching each other work?
Oh, it's been lovely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's in practical terms, it's involved a lot of us screaming up the stairs that the internet's broken and can we use the Zoom and where's the charger?
Yeah, and apologising to the flatmates below. We've got very thin floorboards, so there's been lots of like negotiating with our neighbours.
So many death scenes. Why is Paul giving us so many death scenes?
Loud tragedy.
It's been very cathartic, Joel, to sum up. No, it's just been genuinely lovely. It's been a real, just a kind of rock in the week, and it's been amazing. As the news has been an absolute shit show. It's been so nice to have this community of people across the world going through it together and enjoying art. It's been really special. Thank you.
Having, definitely the anchor in the week in the schedule, the familiar faces, and then, mixing new people here and there. Paul Hurley, you've been with us before, but this, you haven't been the regulars. Evie and Tim were like, what's it like jumping into this and being the fonziest Euripides ever?
It's just, all I'm going to do is echo everything that everyone else has shared, but I'm just super present to how unique this is, and just looking around at all of these people, the majority of which have met like either yesterday or today. And then of course, like super awesome dear friends like Sarah Valentine. I haven't seen Sarah forever, and this is just such an awesome way to reconnect with her as well. And one of my fondest memories was when I was a kid, I went over and worked at a pub in London for 6 years on Fleet Street and have not been back since. And I feel a little bit like I'm kind of back into that community. So that has been so awesome. And then the other thing I just share is it's fun to jump into these things and not have to be too precious about any of this, because there is no time for it. You just got to jump in and do it. So,
and it's not like, great. Right. And it's not like we have to worry about the box office.
That's right.
Robert Matney. So you gave us great reading today. What's it been like coming back to join us again?
I love being a part of this project. It's an ambitious project you and Paul have anchored, isn't it? And it's always an honor to be part of something ambitious. So it's been a real privilege. I've really enjoyed the opportunities I've had to remember and refresh my sense of how immediate and lush and ribald and surprisingly modern this canon of work is. And then to do it with a group of scholars and artists who are a whole lot more clever than me is fantastic. What a gift that is. And then to be in the process of building, an international company, a digital company, but an international company, and what that means for the future, irregardless of whether this is a durable gathering. The cross-pollination, the chance to get to work with new people from different backgrounds is, I think, something that I'm going to take with me. So it's been a real bright spot in my year. I'm just so grateful to be a part of it.
Thank you. Martin, today we gave you a little bit of technical difficulties to get you back into things. You got to play Xerxes though, right? So what has your experience been like coming into some of these characters?
I'm definitely going to echo a lot of what has already been said, but you guys have left me speechless with the words you've used to describe this experience. It has really been a bright spot in my year. I feel incredibly lucky to be working with this colorful international group. And I love what Robert said, like I didn't even think of the concept, but like this is an international theater company right now. So I feel special to be a part of this. And considering I'm coming out from Brooklyn, New York, and I'm a classical actor out here, this has been a wonderful introduction to a whole realm of work that I'm definitely going to be diving into. What else? I just have a lot of love for y'all. This has been really fantastic, and I'm so excited for what the future holds. And I'm really hopeful that I get to see you guys in person, because once this whole pandemic thing loosens up, I'll definitely take a trip across the pond to see you guys.
Um,
And you don't have to go so far to see some of us.
That's true. That's true. That's true.
My day job, I hired a new faculty member last year, and she had never seen me in person until I dropped off a gift yesterday. So we're of course both masked. I dropped something off, and as we left, she's like, "You're shorter than I thought you were." And I thought I was hurt at first, but then I'm like, well, is it better to seem tall and be short, or to seem short and be tall?
Honestly, Joel, you hold yourself high. So to me, you're a giant. So to me, all of you are a giant.
I'm an average height. Nori, you've been literally divine for us several times. Has that gone to your head this year?
It has not. It has given me extreme joy in the extreme imperfections of our time right now. And just being able to be cast non-traditionally in roles that I may not have had the opportunity to get near. And I'm very, very grateful to Paul for that. So grateful. Words escape me. And embracing the imperfections of ourselves and technology, it's just been beautiful to me. There are quips and things and dings and time that are off on a real stage, and having that in a Zoom almost makes it feel like we're really putting on theater. Yeah. We're really scrambling for costume. We're really scrambling for you're next. And there's an endearing nature about that, about everything coming together in this imperfect time, and an international community that I would have never met. So thank you.
Paul, if he has his way, will make the virtual real if he gets the opportunity, right? But you're right. I mean, being at the edge of our seats has been it's been motivating, right? It's been exciting. It's made the 90 minutes go quickly, and we are over time, but that's all right because we've still got to talk to a few more. Tamieka, you've been here, several times throughout the year. I've gotten to know you, see your amazing performances. What will you take away from this year?
Well, my biggest takeaway, and let's see, what's another word I can use for echo? Repeat what others have said. My biggest takeaway is this experience with such wonderful people that I haven't even imagined working with across the world. This has been the most fun I've ever had in a crash course in Greek tragedy. It's been I am very grateful to have had this opportunity to act. Very grateful to be a part of this. And I'm going to cut this short before I get emotional, because I told myself I'm not going to cry. So I'm going to stop right now.
Thank you, Tamieka. I know you've moved us on several occasions, but we won't put you on the spot more. One of the things that's really amazing for me coming to this is I don't really know that much about theater, especially not current actors and performances. So Eunice, after you had performed a few times, someone who knows a bit about the London stage emailed me and said, "Do you know who she is?" I was like, "Yeah, she's Eunice. She's pretty cool, right?" And I could see the head shaking through the computer. What have you have got such a experience in theater, you run BADA, you really know what you're doing. What have you learned from this process that you didn't know before?
That it's slightly worrying how I could connect with people like Clytemnestra. Just I could sort of see where they were. And so I just wondered what on earth that was saying about me, really. That I thought, yeah, they're straightforward people. What's the problem? What's wrong with these people? And I think that's the thing, that sometimes we can all be ugly and cruel, but where does that come from? And the pressures that people are put under, the pressures that we're all under now on so many levels, you know, personally, globally. And these are big, they're big subjects, big plays with real people in them. And I think, you know, we're all being bounced around the world. I mean, you know, even today on the news, it was, you know, oh, we've got a new strain. It's going over to Europe. Let's close the gates. Oh, but there's another strain in South Africa. It's just all, everything's just all whizzing round. And here we are all whizzing round, but actually doing something good and creating something wonderful in the world that we've done, as opposed to passing on things that maybe aren't that wonderful. And that's the great thing, that out of tragedy can come something really positive. And that's what, thanks to Paul and thanks to you and everyone else here, that the positive has come out of the tragedy.
You know, I think you might have just one-upped Aristotle there. But we'll have to get a bit of it, you know, talk to a philosopher and see what they think. So we're rounding out, we're getting closer to the end. We can't neglect Lanah. Lanah, I have no idea how much work you put in this week to week. I know it's a lot. What's it been like to be on your side of the computer?
It has been such a thrill because this is the perfect combination of so many things that I love. I've been working at the center as the fellowships program manager for over a decade. And I'm also a great lover of the arts and theater and music, and being able to combine both of those interests has been fabulous. And it's been great to connect former fellows with former visiting artists and have this just big party of connecting all the dots. So I was just absolutely thrilled that Paul came to the center with this idea, and that we had the facility to just be able to start it up right away. I think we had just a couple days of preparation. We did like a test and we're like, okay, let's roll with this. Here we go. So I want to thank people from the center. I'll do that in a moment, but I also want to thank John, who's my husband, who did the artwork for all the posters. So he and I had a lot of walks and talks about what the artwork should be, and he's at work right now, but he prepared a statement. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to learn how to draw bats. I'm sorry I didn't get to know any of you better. And I guess that's it. So that's the statement from John. And truly, thanks to all the actors. You have just been outstanding. It has been so moving to see you every week. Thanks to all of our researchers who came on. I can't believe how much time everyone has given to this project, and it's been phenomenal. Thanks to our executive director at the Center for Hellenic Studies, Zoe Loftus, who I think is like fan #1 for this project. And thanks to our faculty director, Greg Naj, without whom this would not be possible. I wouldn't exist in my current role. And I also want to thank the folks from the Cosmos Society, Janet, Ellen, and Sarah, who have just been champions for this project. They've done a lot of work on social media and promoting it. So just so much love and so much thanks.
Thank you, Lanah. And last but certainly not least, Ellie, I skipped around and left your group. You got to be Charon the Boatman today, which I think is Paul's most daring cross-casting, right? What's it like to play an old, decrepit boatman?
It was refreshing. It was boundary pushing. No, it was really fun. Something I really appreciate about doing these plays is the other sort of theater acting opportunities I'm having now are very filmic and like cinematic. You know, that's the use of Zoom that a lot of people are doing right now, which is very realism heavy. And so it's been really fun to be theatrical and use big language and be with a group of people that are so game into costumes and props and things, which are so silly and fun. And then I think the other thing that's been really, it's felt, at least for me, I know a lot of us we're forced to live like really small lives right now with a group of people. You know, a lot of people are back with their family. I live with my family again. I'm 30 years old. So that's, you know, so we're having, so the sort of family drama aspects of some of these Greek plays and then fitting it into such a small box has felt very resonant. I'm really grateful for all of it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And now that you're putting family drama in there, I'm wondering how many people have, gone the way of Eunice and thought, you know what? Clytemnestra wasn't so wrong, was she? But it's been, truly Paul, I think I've got you to ask a question to you next. For me, I've learned so much about Greek tragedy and how to read characters generously and really give them the depth they deserve. Paul, after you nap, what's next?
I say after I've napped, I'm then going to have a longer sleep, and then another sleep, and then several more, and then think about where we go next with all of this stuff. And I do want to repeat at the end of all of this as well, just such a huge thank you to every single person who has been involved in this. So many brilliant actors have just said, yeah, let's do it, and just shown the most brilliant spirit and just taken amazing leaps and ideas and just run with it and breathed life into what is a very strange medium that none of us knew about basically 9 months ago. So I'm forever thankful to all of them and to everyone else who's been involved, and the amazing academics, and Joel, that the way that you have just sort of driven all of this and handled every single thing that has been thrown at you, the way that you played the part of Joel Christensen today. Nothing has ever fazed you, be it invading children, dodgy Wi-Fi, or sort of mad ideas. And it's just been really, really wonderful. And for you, I'm hugely thankful to absolutely everyone. To you and Lanah, I feel like I've probably emailed the two of you more than I've ever emailed anyone in my life in the last 9 months. So I apologize for that. But it's been just so wonderful, the spirit of, yes, let's do it, that has been just a huge part of making all of this possible. And I will be forever grateful for that. And where we go next with it, we're still working out a few plans about where that might be exactly, but it seems it would be madness to bring together all of these amazing people and then just not do more. And so we're just really, really keen to build on this next year. We're not going to do anything weekly because, frankly, we all need to sleep more. But the plan is that we're going to come back and do something monthly, but it's going to be in a slightly different format that will include having the same format, but then a few additional things happening as well. Yeah. And it's going to be just, hopefully a new chapter for this. And then one day, hopefully that day is not too far away, I would absolutely love it if we could all be in a room together as well and be creating and taking these shows on the road with the amazing ensemble that we've built up, with the bringing along amazing academics and everything. That would be a wonderful, wonderful thing. So thank you to.
And Paul, I want to echo and send right back your deep gratitude. I like the way you put it, the spirit of yes, in a year that's been nothing but no and darkness. And this has been light, right? And I don't know if there are many gifts that are better than that. Brief plugs though, we can put this below on the YouTube website. Paul and I are going to be doing a workshop for people who want to figure out how we do what we do, if we actually know what we're talking about, at the SCS AIA meeting in a couple weeks. And Paul and Eunice have put together an amazing program, if we're all allowed to fly and go to the UK, for Greek theater with Bada. And we'll be doing something next year. So I think the only way to go out the right way now, to get the next party started right, is to just join the chorus of the frogs. Do I hear them coming? Are they there?
Look how he did this, see how he slacks. His technique is awful, his rhythm he lacks. Look how he did this, see how he slacks. technique is awful. His rhythm he lacks. Go X. I'm Dionysus. Can we please just slow down? Look how he dithers. See how he slacks. His technique is awful. His rhythm he lacks. Look how he dithers. See how he slacks. His technique is awful. His rhythm he lacks. Let's lift our voices to a hymn, loud and clear our own sweet song in honor of Zeus' son, Dionysus. Let's lift our voices to a hymn, loud and clear our own sweet song in honor of Zeus' son, Dionysus.